Are you good to go?
Yeah, I think I'm all right. Oh, sorry. Okay. All right.
Welcome back to the Green Brothers.
This is episode 4.
If you've seen the Fallout show, played the games, we titled this one War. War never changes. So it should sound a little familiar.
And we kind of talked to you guys about Life Bunker last week, or the Life Shield bunkers through the Lifeboat Foundation. So you kind of got another taste of Vault Tech through that. But I know last week we had told you guys that we were going to take a break from the Epstein files, but
we lied. We lied. No, seriously, we were going to take a break, but everything going on, it's one of those things. We got to keep it going.
Yeah,
folks, we can't let it die.
And we got to keep, this keeps the pressure on the admin. We know that they don't want us to talk about it. We know that they essentially would rather have us talk about Iran and everything else going on there. And we do want to kind of give you guys some insight to what's going on in Iran, but it's not going to be our focus the whole episode.
Yeah, it's not a real focal point per se, because let's be real, it's a distraction.
Yeah, we just want to be able to give you guys insight into kind of the backstory of this situation and understand that when you really look at how some of these things went, it's just not, as Americans, it's probably not what you'd hope to hear. I'll be honest with you.
I know as an American myself, it really pisses me off.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. We're supposed to be the country that is big enough and resourceful enough and caring enough to be going out and actually liberating people and actually creating freedoms for other people and other countries as well. Not essentially what we
shouldn't have to go in and bomb the shit out of these people.
No.
To make a point. That's ridiculous.
No.
I'm sorry. If you really want to improve their lives, you're going to bring things to help them and to progress them along. You're not going to go bomb their country and go, hey, guys, figure it out for yourselves.
And if you guys don't think this is a distraction, just look at things like the situation with Les Wexner.
Yes.
A known co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein, and yet you haven't heard about him getting prosecuted yet, have you?
You saw the court film.
Yep. He did have to go to a deposition.
But that was it.
And you haven't really heard about anything else since.
But I say we get to the meat and potatoes of this episode.
Yep.
And let's open it up clean with Iran.
Yep. So the big question is, of course, why are we there? And why is it called Epstein Fury?
In case you need to know, it's not actually called Epstein Fury. They're claiming it's Operation Epic Fury.
And this is not a war,
but
it's an operation.
I got it. It sounds so Russian. Any of you who've been paying attention to world politics in the past 10 years, you would know for a fact when Russia invaded Ukraine, they tried to call it a special military operation. We all know it was a war.
Essentially,
it sounds really familiar though, doesn't it?
I think if you actually go back, and I'll have to see if I can get a source on this too. But I believe if you go back, you can actually see that I think up until Vietnam, everything was a war up until then. Or even Korea.
No, I think World War II was the actual war last time we legitimately Congress declared war.
Even though it's funny because you'll hear everyone reference when they went to war in when we went to war in Afghanistan.
Okay, so the reason they're going to reference that is because they did follow procedure in the one sense of you have to give 48 hours before you do a strike of any type.
Sure.
And that Congress has to approve that to a degree, which they did in this case. They did the strikes, then we declared war. But you still didn't follow the natural processes that were written when declaring a war.
Well, I think what frustrates a lot of people is that, if you and I were just talking casually, this is kind of something like we would talk about how things are at work.
Water cooler talk. Well.
Yep. So, when it comes to the water cooler talk, and this is the same thing, and this is what I think frustrates a lot of people, a lot of you guys out there, is that if we were just talking, I said, hey, if I bomb this other country, right, what do you guys think about that? I think a lot of people would respond with first is, it sounds like an act of war. Right? You're literally bombing these people, taking out numerous lives. We saw it with the school. In Iran, we fricking bombed a school full of girls and children. And I don't see how we want to tiptoe around calling that what it is. It's an act of war. That itself is more like a war crime, in my opinion.
The moment you do any deliberate strike in a foreign country that is not in a defensive purpose, like I'm gonna have to be picky with my words here, but it would be like, no, I'm gonna actually fix that. You have no reason to attack another country unless you're at war with them. You have no fucking reason to invade a country,
Right.
And when I say invade, I don't mean putting boots on the ground. I mean the moment you start bombing, you are technically invading said country. You are enacting war against them. I was going to try to play middleman on this one and devil's advocate, but I'm not even going to do it this time. It's not even worth the hassle. It's a war.
The sad part is that not only did we kill their leader,
their Ayatollah.
That's correct. We also then killed, I think it was like the second and third candidate they could even pick up as the next guy. So to me, like when you do things like that, it not only comes across as, especially if you go look at like what Iran actually preaches over there, it honestly came across as, well, we wanted to take out someone who is making Iran better for them. And on top of that, if there are at least like 2 or 3 candidates behind him who felt the same way, we got rid of them as well.
Well, why don't we just look back to 1970?
Sure. Before
Iran.
Well, before that, right before 1970, they had, what was his name? Mohammed Mossadegh. And I do apologize if I mispronounce that. But he became the prime minister and he nationalized the Anglo-Iranian oil company, and he refused to let British interests control Iran's resource, which led to the 1953 CIA MI6 backed coup.
Hey, look. So it's a backed coup. So it's a proxy war.
So, and if
it's still a war.
That's right. And if you guys want some other examples of us doing that, I mean, you can go as far as like what we've done to the leaders over there in Africa.
Yes.
I think Gaddafi was another one who wanted to nationalize their gold over there.
He wanted to nationalize their gold, and he also wanted to restrict sales of oil and petroleum to the U.S.
Well, if I'm correct, Gaddafi also wanted to stick with a gold-backed standard because he understood
he wanted to get away from the petrodollar.
Right. He understood that with the fiat currency system, there's a lot of room for corruption there. And so we then now have another situation where basically, you know, back then we had us and Britain essentially come together to take out their leader who is making things better and put in Mohammed Reza Shah Pahlavi, which, mind you, this guy was like a dictator, right? He came down hard on anyone who didn't have money, and he turned around and he said, "Oh my God, I'm going to sell all the gold to or not the gold, the oil, basically gold to him, but I'm going to sell it all to the United States and British company as much as I can."
Hey, folks, I do have a question. Doesn't anyone else find it strange that every time we go to war for supposed assisting a country in their freedoms, we always install a dictator who conveniently just does everything we say?
Essentially, I'm sure you guys have seen the memes, all the memes going around. Why would we go in and remove the Taliban to make the next Taliban? Because that's what we're doing.
That's what it is.
You're going into another country, and you have to look at it this way. Imagine you're outspoken here in the U.S., you know, so you get out there, you go protest, and you get big enough that you're able to go to have big talks with people, you know, have these giant speeches you can give.
Have a TED Talk.
You know, have a TED Talk, whatever. And then these guys are allowed to just come in and wipe you out. And then what do you think your kids are gonna do? You think they're just gonna be like, oh, well, time to follow the new guy?
No.
All those kids are going to be pissed. And all those kids are going to hate you because you took their future away as far as they're concerned.
And let's be real. That's pretty much all we did.
Yes.
In the United States, we went into Iran. We took everything away from them. We restricted their entire futures.
Yep.
And it's really disgusting too, because if you look at photos prior to Iran in 1970, it was a very, very beautiful country, and with amazing architecture that we just devastated.
You guys want to know the really, really sad part about this? Do you want to know who is responsible for letting all this happen? You are.
By being complacent in the systems we have built here, we are all responsible for this failure.
every time you turn a blind eye, every time you say, oh, politics isn't my thing, that's what they want. They want your silent complacency. And you have to think, how would you feel if, say, let's just say China was this extremely great country that wanted to take care of everyone, seemingly, and you have groups come in and bomb the shit out of you as you're trying to build up a new democratic version of your country. And you're like, hey, dude, if you could just help us out. And then they go, oh, sorry, we were told you're terrorists, and help start bombing you. Do you think those countries hate us for our freedoms? Because that's what you're going to be told.
That is the biggest fallacy they will tell you in the media. They hate Americans because they're jealous of our freedoms. No, they hate Americans because we stick our nose everywhere it shouldn't be.
And you know what all the civilians do? We sit idly by, watch it happen, go home, watch Netflix while some people's parents are blown to pieces. Some people get to watch their kids blown apart or know that they're getting raped and beaten in prisons.
I'm not saying you should hate the life you live, but you can't pretend to be surprised when this goes down and you all get called out, including us.
Right.
We're just
as guilty.
Complacent. We were just as complacent, which is why we're doing this shit.
We started this channel to finally give ourselves a voice because everyone else, a lot of you guys, you probably feel terribly small in the world and you probably feel like your voice doesn't have weight. And we understand that. Everywhere we go, we try to get people together, get people talking. And trust me, there are plenty of times, especially recently, where it's bitten us in the ass.
Just the way it goes.
But we have to be honest with ourselves. It might be the hardest thing you have to do, but at least that's it.
If you can't wake up, look at yourself in the mirror and go, damn, I have been not giving a fuck about anything and maybe I should, you might be on the right path. Because I know I had to do that. I had to wake up one morning, look at myself and go, am I okay with just sitting by and letting this happen?
Yeah.
Am I just okay with that? And if I am, what the fuck is wrong with me?
I think a big problem is that they have found a way to desensitize us and make it such an everyday thing that to us it's just another news article. To other people, that is years of their life. That is lost family members. That is homes, opportunities they'll never get. So while you're struggling to get a job here in the US, some of those people can never.
Or just struggling to survive.
And could never dream of working just a 9 to 5 like you do. And trust me, we're going to get to why 9 to 5 suck in America.
Oh, don't worry. We're coming for you guys too.
But also take into account, if you look at your life and you aren't happy with that, imagine how those people feel. Put yourself in a day in their shoes.
It's a saying we kind of lost here in the States.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger and you were kind of just an asshole. And a parent or an adult would go, you can't say shit.
Right.
You've never walked a mile in their shoes.
That's right.
But you know what the worst part is? For some reason, that never resonated with a certain part of this population here. Y'all seem to act on a certain side of this fence that I don't need to. I would never be in that position. You know what, motherfucker? Someday you might be. You might be and you don't want to be.
And you know what? I've seen how plenty of you look. Okay, I've seen what your problems are compared to them, or the positions you put yourself in compared to them. And I assure you, I feel worse for them than you.
Yes.
I don't feel bad for your first world problems.
No.
I'm sorry. You can dislike the channel for that. But I'm more worried about people, like I said, who have to wonder if they're going to even see their kid the next day. It's a fucking terrible thought.
Here, I will kind of crap on this war a little harder. For what we've spent so far on this war, since it started, Americans could have had free health care. For the same value. Universal health care for the same damn value. If I look pissed, it's because because I've had family members die because they couldn't afford the fucking health care in this country because it's a slop show.
That's right. And it's excuse after excuse. I'm not going to sit here and hear about how this country can't afford universal health care. Well, we can afford to sit there and destroy other countries.
Left and right.
Throwing away taxpayer dollars. And then on top of that, watching the same country that has to defend itself throw away more of our taxpayer dollars because it's weapons we sold them to.
I just remember we dropped an $80 million bomb on a $5 fucking tent.
But they were upset. But they were upset because you want to go to the doctor. And we're going to get into healthcare too and talk about how illegal it is that a bunch of people who don't have a fucking medical license are allowed to tell doctors when you should have a medical procedure. And guess what? If lobbying didn't exist, that's fucking malpractice.
Bing, 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 bing.
But we're going to
bing.
get to all that. So getting back on point. Sorry, everyone.
Sometimes you got to have a little rant in there, you know?
But it does kind of go with the next point, which
It does.
should we continue to waste lives and money on rich people basically avoiding accountability? Because that's what this is, right? This is Epstein Fury. This is a rich guy with connections to Epstein who had connections to Israel, right? This is all of their bullshit coming back around.
It's bigger than that. It's the entire rich elite covering their ass right now. I mean, you got to remember Epstein represented so many people and had massive ties with Israeli Mossad that they're going to try to cover every ounce of tracks they left behind.
Oh, we're going to talk about Peter Thiel in this episode because, you know, there's emails of him talking about secret meetings about Iran and talking about how he wants to meet with Bibi also. Netanyahu from Israel, the prime minister. Isn't it weird how all these guys work together? All this crap happens when they're all connected to Trump. Isn't that weird?
Hey, but, you know, it's all a lie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right wingers? Trump would do no wrong, right?
I think it's...
Tell me with a straight face you'd do no wrong, please.
Here's my big question for you guys. This is the part that kills me. Why is it that you can have 60 million reasons to show you that that guy is a liar, done nothing but lie to you the whole fucking time, but you're telling me you can't believe it until what? The guy who's lied to you a whole bunch tells you the truth? When do you think that's going to happen?
FYI, I get a feeling most of you guys that fall for that shit are the same ones who get ripped off by phone scammers.
How many people have to come forward and tell you what a piece of shit this guy is? We've even told you that Epstein in his own emails, which you can go look at, right? Told you what a horrible monster someone like Trump is. Someone who could possibly be eating children is telling you what a horrible person Trump is. What else do you guys need to hear?
What did you miss?
I mean, how stuffed do they have your ears? And you're going to tell what? You're going to tell people propaganda doesn't work?
Hey, you know what? Let's have a little nugget here. You know what's funny? I was alive in the 90s, and I remember when a certain party tried to impeach a president for a blowjob.
Yep.
But you guys today are okay with a pedophile rapist crook as your president.
So why would you listen to any of these people? Why would you listen to someone who constantly does everything on the whim of someone like Netanyahu? Another person who, if he has all these money and connections, right, to people like in the United States and our military, why do they have to constantly blow up children? Why do they have to constantly create these fucking death camps where you read nothing about the women and children getting raped and tortured there? But what? They're not bad people though, right? You're gonna tell me that's in what, the name of God?
Oh wait, is it because every time we like lash out at any type of Israeli, I don't know, bullshit where they commit atrocities, you immediately scream anti-Semite? It's anti-Semitic.
That would be no different than me fucking stabbing an innocent person to death. And then when you call me murderer, tell you, this guy's a murderist. This guy's got a problem with murderers, and make it seem like it's some fucking everyday thing. I mean, how do you normalize that? How does a murderer become the victim? And how do we allow that to happen? Because if a fucking serial killer can turn around and just claim they're innocent and claim they're the victim, and everyone's going to listen, who are we stopping here? What progress are we making?
All right, let's stay on track.
Sorry. Anyways,
we are gonna discuss Netanyahu though now. That is what we were building into anyway. So it works out.
We are gonna get to him. There are some other things that I wanted people to realize. Maybe why you're hearing things in the news the way that you do when it comes to things like Iran, when it comes to things like Israel. Well, why don't we go ahead and look at places like Fox News? If you look at Fox News and you look at who a bunch of their ex-employees are, you'll find that right off the bat, if you Google it, 4 of them, 4 ex-Fox employees are now employed by the Trump administration. The same news outlet that glazes Trump no matter what he does sent their people over, and he brought them happily into his administration, right? Gave them spots. We got, let's see, We got Hegseth, which
Oh,
we've
yeah.
seen how well his drunk ass is done.
That guy's a moron.
Judge Pirro, how do you take a drunk like that?
Can we stop calling her judge? She's just Janine Pirro. She was a clown shoe, like set of clown shoes on Fox News. She's still a set of clown shoes now. That is not a judge.
And she's another one. How do you let an openly drunk, like an active drunk like that, have any position of power to make decisions like
drunk? That bitch is an alcoholic. I don't even know if she knows which way's left or right anymore.
Then we also have Dan Bongino. He became the deputy director of the FBI. Yeah, ex-Fox News guy. Deputy director of the FBI. That makes sense.
Well, look who his boss is. Cash Patel.
And then you got Sean Duffy. He became Secretary of Transport.
Oh my God. I forgot about him.
Like, you guys wonder why Fox News, well, no matter what, if you're ever waiting for them to somehow turn around and the great people at Fox to tell you Trump's a dickhead, they're not going to do it.
They're going to keep slicking them balls as long as they can to stay around, baby.
Because a bunch of them know that as long as they glaze him on the air and try to make him look good so he can stay president longer, maybe one day they'll have a job in his administration.
I wouldn't even say maybe. It's almost a guarantee that if you just kiss his ass, he'll somehow give you a high paying position in his administration as it is. I'm not even going to call it administration. It's a regime. You guys operate like a bunch of assholes. I'm going to call you a bunch of assholes. You're a regime.
And then the best part is, now that we have this war, not only did we have the tariffs that we all had to pay for, and none of the companies had to give any of us the money back, now our oil prices get to skyrocket again. So,
yay.
And again, you've seen the memes. And if you don't like just memes, if you'd like some informative statistics, I suggest everyone to go on to Google and look up how, I don't know, Bush's career went. Senior. And then how his son's career went as president. And then how Trump's went. And you'll notice that randomly we had to keep going to the Middle East to start a war after they ran the economy in the ground.
Ooh, it goes further back than that.
Yep.
Goes further back than that. It's weird how every Republican president has gone to war with the Middle East somewhere. Call me a liar.
And my whole thing is the whole process has essentially become shove another country in the dirt and extort them.
Extort their resources.
Well, yeah, extort them for their resources.
That's all we're there for. We are just there to take oil.
I mean,
because they even said it. They said it live on TV. If we can control all the oil, we can set the prices and we're going to make a lot of money.
Yep.
I mean, they're literally mocking you live on TV.
On top of that, we basically had a Game of Thrones moment where we did an open military exercise with Iran and then took our sub and sank one of their battleships at the end of it and called it an oopsie daisy.
And we just left their people out there to drown.
It was a war. That is a war.
That's a war crime.
What are we doing? Why are you not upset about this? How could you imagine your mom, dad, whoever in your family going off as a sailor, another country blowing up their ship during an exercise?
A training exercise.
And they're gone. That's all you get because another country decided to be a fucking giant asshole.
Hey, let me also add, Hegseth made sure that ship immediately got out of there, the submarine.
Yep.
He didn't offer any aid. He let those sailors die. That was intentional.
So you guys have to realize all of these people are literally dying. These people have to lose family members. Their whole worlds get rocked for incompetent idiots covering up for their wrongdoing that they refuse to fucking come forward on.
This is all so the elites can avoid accountability for their actions. And plain and simple.
And so how long does it take you to push for an impeachment? That's what I really need to know. Because when I started talking to people with MAGA, it's draw one line in the sand, and as soon as Trump takes a dump on it, you just move the line back. So then it was for sure Epstein, right? It's definitely Epstein. Then Epstein connections come out, and you guys just turn a blind eye to that too. Fucking kids, possibly eating them, and just turn a blind eye, whatever, right? As long as it's good for you, right?
If you still support the president and his regime currently, you have no principles.
Nope.
You have no moral direction.
Nope.
And quite frankly, you are a plague on the rest of our society. You clearly have no care or concern for anyone else outside of yourselves.
And
that is, there's no place for you in a society because that's not what a society is. A society helps each other raise up. I don't know what your beliefs are, but they're not normal.
People shouldn't think like that. That shouldn't be normal to you. That shouldn't be such a thing. Again, and you're talking about a nation who wants to claim it's a Christian nation.
You're not.
You're not. Jesus wouldn't be out there being like, yeah, bomb the fuck out of those people.
To most of you Christians on the right wing, you're not even Christian. You don't follow anything that Jesus taught. And I'm not a Christian. I'm not even a religious person. I think it's quite funny that someone like me knows more about the Bible than most of you Christians do, because you can't even follow it. You can't follow it. You can't replicate Christ's teaching. You can't even follow the 10 Commandments. You're an embarrassment. Take your religion, your Bible, and just continue wiping your ass with it, because that's all you've ever done your whole life. You use it as a shield.
That's exactly what you guys do. A lot of you guys take it and you use the Bible nothing more as a shield to cover your shitty actions. And the rest of us are honestly tired of it.
I have family that claim they're Christians. And I can turn around and look them dead in the eye and tell them, you're fake as hell. You're a joke. You aren't Christian. Your actions speak otherwise.
Your actions speak louder than your words do. And the way I see people talk about other countries, or talk about people who are downtrodden, or talk about people who have it rough, it's disgusting. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get how you can see people in such a terrible place. You can watch your country do things like that and be like, that's my country. That's my red, white, and blue right there. Really? Are you, what are you, a third grader? You can't think past colors?
No, Josh, we're in a society where people are proud to be stupid. That's the problem. They've glorified stupidity here.
You're adults. You all know right and wrong. We're not going to have conversations with people who faux virtue signal all the time. Oh, I have a problem with this, but then when my administration does it, I turn a blind eye, ignore the shit out of it. You have no ground to stand on. And a lot of you need to stay the fuck out of debates, honestly. And a lot of you guys, this is the other thing I want to say before we move on to Netanyahu. I always appreciate comments. I really do. I appreciate that people might not, I understand that people won't agree with everything that Colin I say. I get dislikes. Would like to see, sure, more likes and comments in the future. Here's the one thing I'll say. If you want to come onto one of our pages and talk about, well, what I should do or what Colin I should do, if you don't do anything, I highly suggest you take your own advice.
Yes.
Stop going and telling other people what they should do. Kyle and I created this channel as a way to encourage people to actively make themselves more informed, to provide you links where we find the information, to make it easier if you don't even want to go look for it, because enough people have already done that for us by making these incredible websites as resources to find all this information. So I'll tell you what, how about you guys do something? How about everyone gets a little more active? How about if you guys don't like things, get together, make groups, get organized, and protest?
Well, they did. They called MAGA and they raided January 6th, the state capitol.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did I say something rude to you little fuckers out there? My bad.
And that's amazing. You guys can do that over a stolen election. I saw more people get upset over fucking TikTok.
I do want to add one little piece before we do move on. It's nothing like super dramatic or nothing. It's just, folks, we have the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have this device in our hands called a cell phone, a smartphone, if you will.
Yep.
It has endless information. Maybe not all accurate, but it has endless information. But if you're just reading headlines and then forming your opinion off a headline, you've done no research.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I fucking hate Fox News. I think they're a bunch of asshole cocksuckers, little bitches. Spoiled bitches at that. Overpaid cunts. But I'm still going to watch their shit to read their shit. So I know when I go to blast their ass, I have both sides of the story.
Yep.
I do not want to hear this excuse anymore of, I checked it out a little bit, but it didn't really fit what I was looking for. So, I don't believe it.
That's the
You're not going to say it like that. You're going to go, well, it didn't really, get to the point of what I was trying to say. So it doesn't fit my narrative. No shit. It's not going to fit your narrative if it's a pile of horse shit.
That's right. On top of that, I should tell you something when it doesn't fit your narrative, that maybe your narrative's incorrect.
If you check 90 sites and all 90 of them tell you, yeah, that's not right, I don't know how to break it to you. You're probably not right.
Check all 90 sites and 2 of them tell you you're right. You're probably still wrong.
Probably still wrong.
I hate to tell you. Look, the proof is in the pudding. Follow the money.
Follow money.
All these things weren't created for shits and giggles. It all applies to everyday life, everywhere you look. And furthering the fall of the money, let's get to the second talking point.
Bibi Netanyahu.
The biggest victim and the biggest dictator all in one.
Hey, eat a dick, Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
You pancake bitch.
Everyone's tired of your old dumbass, dude. I don't want to ever hear you glaze Israel the way you did, or Bibi's dumbass. Another incompetent turd. And that's the thing. Stop listening to these incompetent turds that literally just come on here and jerk off some guy on live TV.
Folks, I will do you one better. Why the hell are any of you young guys, like younger than me, listening to any baby boomer on TV?
Seriously.
Those dipshits fucked our country up so bad and gatekept everything. They don't give a fuck about you. They took what's theirs and fucked everybody else. Don't give them the time of day. Get these old fucking heads out of here. They're done. They're cooked. That shit was left in the oven 10 years too long. Get them all out. Wave them by as you send them into the crematorium.
So
I say that sarcastically, but seriously, get them out of office. They're fucking terrible.
A lot of these guys need to go. It's the whole reason you'll hear a lot of us talk about wanting term limits on Congress. You have to think, these guys are allowed to go out. They make so much money. They're going to go hang out places you can't afford. And they're going to talk about doing shit to this country the way they want. They don't care about you. And we'll get more to people like that, which is Peter Thiel later. Getting to people like Bibi Netanyahu. He's been the prime minister of Israel for since 1992.
On and off, because he I think it was from 96 to 99, 2009 to 2021, and then 2022 on.
And you'll find out a lot of reason for the way he stayed in power. You'll see typical things like his oppositions magically getting taken out, him destroying elections, him calling on elections to be investigated. Oh, wait, that's actually kind of starting to sound familiar. Damn.
This is sounding familiar. I swear I heard this before, like just a couple of days ago from some fat-mouthed orange turd.
So you guys should wonder. You guys should wonder when you watch Fox News. You should wonder when you watch any commentator at this point, really, why are they glazing Israel? Let's just say, even if you thought Hamas was the biggest threat in the planet, right? You find that as an okay reason to let that guy do what he's done to those people, to blowing up children, because I'll be honest with you, in an act of war, you're a piece of shit for thinking that.
Yes.
I'm going to just be honest. You're wrong.
You're wrong. You're always going to be wrong on that one.
Every time. Right? This is a guy who's done some of the most corrupt shit in his country to stay in power. And I'll say allegedly, but I'll also tell you, you can go look it all up for yourself on Google. And I'm going to post links in here for you guys so you can see some of the crap this guy's been getting into. But he's the same guy for the last 25 years since he's been in office, has basically been screaming, oh my God, Iran's got nuclear power. They're going to have nuclear capabilities.
Folks, they're not going to have nuclear capabilities. I don't know how to tell you. We originally signed those nuclear accords with them, or the nuclear deterrent deal, whatever, for a reason. And they were on board.
Hey guys.
But you know what? Somebody else didn't agree with it. Somebody always has had beef with Iran.
And guess what, guys? If that's the case, isn't Russia a bigger threat? Isn't China a bigger threat? Not only would they have more nukes, they'd have way more advanced capabilities than Iran ever could.
I mean, I'm sure everybody's already seen the memes going around. Why did you go after Iran? Well, they have nukes. Okay, why aren't you going after Russia? Well, they have nukes.
Right.
It's like one of the greatest comments I've ever heard about the United States. There's two problems in the United States: the density of the population and the density of the population.
You probably hear that a lot.
And if you don't get that, you're probably part of the density of the population. You know what I'm saying?
So you guys have to understand that if you really want to see how Israel influences our politics and our media, again, I would suggest you to go Google how much money they lobby here in America.
Super PACs.
All over the place. And I will tell you that they were definitely donating to Trump.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people don't realize, but Miriam Adelson, which is an Israeli-American physician and billionaire, is a leading pro-Israel donor to U.S. presidential campaigns, specifically supporting Donald Trump. She's contributed well over $100 million to pro-Trump efforts, including the Preserve America Super PAC, and is described as a top influence on U.S.-Israeli policy. U.S.-Israeli policy.
Why?
Follow the money.
Why in God's green earth, if we are a free country, would we constantly be at the hip of Israel?
And if you guys are curious, by the way, they've made well over 600 million in contribution to our politics since just 2015. The super PAC's got to go.
Lobbying.
You guys want to see problems go away? Get rid of lobbying. Get rid of super PACs.
Don't let corporations or other foreign countries lobby in this country.
Don't let them have any avenue to invest money into our politics. Politics isn't supposed to be an investment.
It's not supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be exciting.
Nope.
It's supposed to be boring, nit-gritty, and actually make differences.
Yep.
It's supposed to be aggravating, but not like this.
And you shouldn't be concerned. Like I shouldn't say it that way. You should be concerned at the fact that this is not just a one-party thing. This is the same group who's also donated to Democrats.
Yes.
Right? So this is the one thing I want to highlight to you guys.
We might be dogging on the right now.
And we will a lot.
And we will, but the left ain't scot-free either.
Hell no. And
I'm not going to say leftists because they're not. They're Democrats. Democrats are more right-leaning whether they want to believe it or not, or they tell you or not. They are right-leaning. They're still conservative no matter what they tell you.
And if you guys want to know, it's not just us. Plenty of other countries despise Netanyahu in Israel. They did a research between March 2022, all the way up to March 2025. They found out that negatively, it had gone further in the negative 11 percentage points on basically the world's view of Israel. Many of them see them as a country where Netanyahu, the prime minister, does not know how to handle world affairs, and plenty of people see him as a war criminal.
Most world leaders view Israel as a terrorist state.
Yep.
Because that's what they are.
That is what they are.
That you can say they're not. Israel can come out and say they're not. You are. You're genociding people from Gaza, Golan Heights, Palestinians left and right. You're going after Iran.
Yep.
You're going after Lebanon. I mean, you will shoot rockets at anybody and then cry victim.
And if you guys want to see why this is happening, why Netanyahu's that way, you'll find out that when he was younger, he was raised up to believe that he's this chosen one prophet. So I'm not trying to be an asshole, but once again, here we go. Some giant religious prophecy that brought how much bullshit on the world.
Hey, folks.
Because they wanted to glaze one kid's ego.
Hey, folks. I'm going to
manipulate them.
Just say this, though, when it comes to religions. How many times you ever heard the saying, like anyone in war go, in the name of Buddha, I slay thee?
That's right.
You don't. You only hear it in fucking Muslim and Christianity. Unfortunately, hate to say it that way. Those are the only two religions that are hell-bent on in the name of my God, I kill thee. Yep. You're embarrassing. Oh, and Judaism, sorry.
Yep.
Your whole religion is clown shoes, fam.
Look,
you can take it how you want, but if you're using it to hate on other people,
you're making a mockery of that religion.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it says a lot about the people these days who understand basic human needs, understand what they would want, what they prefer, and how they want to be treated. Basic saying we go back to. And we know that we can't sit here and let people crap all over each other because of religious beliefs. You are allowed to believe what you want to believe. You are not allowed to shit on someone else's beliefs because of your beliefs.
I just want to say this because I probably did come off kind of harsh with my statement. I am a firm believer of freedom of religion. It's something our country was founded on. I don't believe in y'all coming around to everybody pushing your BS
right
onto everybody else.
Right.
That's why it's called freedom of religion.
You keep it with you.
I still think churches should be taxed properly.
Yep.
And if you don't want to have that, then do what most people did back in the day. Stay at home and pray.
Yep.
Your home is your church.
Your heart and your mind are supposed to be your church. That's where you can talk to God. All right? God's in every one of us. That's what they say.
I mean, I hate saying this, but how does somebody like myself that's not religious understand these concepts better than people who are religious?
But to get to the point is that
Sorry.
You're okay. These things tend to cause issues. Look at our history. Look at the history of the world. Again, the idea that we should still be fighting some semblance of a religious war or to fulfill some religious prophecy, And I'm sorry, it's stupid.
It is. It's dumb.
We know what progress is. We understand what people need. We know how to make the world a better place. We're all adults. And I'm sure a lot of people have had some fucked up upbringings, but I know deep down a lot of those people still know right and wrong. That's innate knowledge. That's not always something you have to be taught. That's something that's built in, and everyone has it. You know that these people are doing terrible things. You know that we're accepting money to go do war crimes.
Now, do I think
should
there
have a
are
problem
people
with
out
it.
there that probably think doing the wrong thing is right? Sure.
Yeah, there's
There's
those
always those few
fucking
that
weirdos.
I'm not going to blame it on them because most of the time it's chemical imbalances in the brain.
That
It really is.
Yeah, and they get this. I think a lot of those people get the sense of like, it's that misguided understanding that I know better than everyone else.
And again, that's why I said we can't really say it like that because there are those few people out there that are like, they think doing the wrong shit is totally the right thing, and it's not their fault entirely. There are people that are just despicable pieces of shit, yes, but there are some. Bro, the brain is a really weird thing. Trust me.
So to add to even more connections with essentially Iran, Israel, and we told you guys we wanted to get back to the Epstein files. We want to talk about Peter Thiel, the legendary asshole. Now, Peter's someone who has appeared in the Epstein files over 2,200 times. Now, again, appearing in the files
doesn't make you guilty.
Doesn't always make you guilty. Saying that he's in there 2,200 times means he wasn't included in a lot of conversations. Not all of them are going to be like, hey, let's eat babies and shit on Tuesday.
But they do talk about some pretty strange shit between the two of them.
They do. They had a very personal and they had a expansive business relationship. Again, he was mentioned just insane amount of times. There's multiple emails, link in the description, of them talking about meeting up in New York City and meeting
on the island multiple times.
Except not in May. It was too hot for Peter.
Yeah,
he said May. He said May. The Caribbean's a little hot for him.
Poor little Peter.
But you know, something you should know about Peter Thiel, if you're wondering where his connection also comes in, aside from just Epstein, wouldn't you know it? Peter Thiel went to Yale with J.D. Vance. Do you guys know that? Oh yeah, they were buddies too. And
such good buddies that
Peter went ahead and made sure that he got them into, I believe the deal was he helped get him into venture capital.
Yes.
And he even
opened the doors for him to get into Silicon Valley into executive roles.
And the Ohio Senate as well. Yep. He also spent $15 million on his campaign.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Sure, he doesn't want anything in return for that. JD Vance also, now this is one that I've only found a few articles about, but I do think it's kind of funny that Vance claims that Peter Thiel turned him away from being gay. Yep. Yep.
Hey, bro, your eyeliner says otherwise.
Now, here's the funny part. So I think it's something people don't think about. We always think about like grooming, how we've seen like the idea of grooming with what they do with kids and how they do it in Hollywood and shit like that. But it's funny because if you actually look at how Peter Thiel treated JD Vance throughout things like school.
In case you hear the borking, it's the dogs upstairs. We hope you enjoy their borking.
Yeah, sorry about that. But you know, the weird thing is what I was trying to say is it's basically like Peter Thiel groomed JD Vance since college.
Let's be like just clear on one thing. You can do multiple types of grooming. You can be a dog groomer.
You can be a dog groomer.
But no, on a serious note, grooming doesn't always have to resemble around kids. You can groom a young adult into something you want, and it doesn't always mean a sex slave. It could be a business aspect, like in this case.
Yep.
You're being groomed to what Peter Thiel wanted it in that degree.
And I've also linked I linked the link. I'm going to post the link for that article from Forbes where it gives you a little background on JD Vance and Peter Thiel. But, you know, I think the concerning part about this is you have another guy in the Epstein list who is a co-founder of Palantir.
And if you don't know what Palantir is, I highly recommend looking them up, but they are essentially a surveillance type of security software.
Yep.
And if you thought the Patriot Act was bad, this is like that on steroids, except it's not a bill. It's a company with a software.
And what we find is like he's another guy where he has a lot of influence into our politics. And you have to understand, like, again, if you're ever wondering over the last couple of decades now why you sit here and you go, well, gee, why would they pass this bill, but they won't pass this? Or, we can seem to get these tax breaks for the rich, but we can't ever seem to get money for the poor. Is it starting to come together now? Are you starting to understand why those bills don't pass? Do you realize now that George Carlin was right? How do you say it?
Well, he said it's a big club and none of you are in it.
That's right.
Difference is it's actually a little club and none of us are in it.
Except them. And it's the only people they want to talk to.
I mean, it really is disturbing in the fact that it's just a cabal of rich folks that want to tell you how to live life. They want every control over your life. You know why Republicans run on a pro-life campaign? I'll tell you. They want more orphan kids.
Yep.
And if you think I'm joking, it's really weird now when I look back throughout history, especially with Republican presidents.
Yep.
They are all pro-life and they always want you to have that kid no matter what. But it's weird. They never encourage people to adopt kids.
Or they never encourage to create an economy that's worth bringing children up in or gives people an opportunity to have the finances to raise children.
And I find it weird because all these Republicans have ties to guys like this and Epstein. And, when you read about what they do with children,
or you think
it makes a lot more sense why they're pro-life.
Or you hear things about Candace Owens, alleging that Erica Kirk had this orphanage in Romania.
I don't know about that one entirely, but I know for a fact that bitch is crooked as fuck.
Well, it's not the first time though, and I have a feeling as we go through, but people are saying that she's not the only one, right? That a lot of these people seemingly are involved in like things like orphanages or helping the sex trafficking, but then you find out that they're actually involved with the sex trafficking, or they're people who are involved with Epstein.
No confirmation, but look into the company, and this is all allegations, that Ashton Kutcher used to work with for recovering trafficked teens.
Right.
They had ties to sex trafficking rings.
And if you guys ever look at Ashton's past, he has a very
checkered past.
Suspicious past himself.
That's all I'm saying. It is suspicious as hell.
But I was just going to say, to get back to what you're saying with the small minority.
Oh, yeah.
Peter Thiel, if you've never watched any of his interviews, he's the same guy. And I don't know if it was at the World Economic Forum, but he said, we could never win an election in order to get certain things because we were in such a small minority. I don't know the rest of the quote here, but I'll kind of give you the rest of it, what I remember. But he essentially said, internet and technology gives us a chance to change that and provides us an alternative to politics. And I'll post, I think I have a video for that. I can post down below where he actually says it. But again, like, these are guys who, they don't care about your will. They don't care about your wants. They don't care about your families. They want to get their shit passed, and you disagreeing with them is an inconvenience to them.
These rich fuckers look at us like we're worse than cattle.
And he even admits, right? Peter Thiel even admits in that speech I'll post that we'd have to constantly spend all this time trying to convince people. And we never would. He knows they'll never convince us to want what they want. And that should probably
because none of it benefits us, folks.
Right.
All the things they want is to take away from us, those of the lower class, not the elites.
Look at AI. With things like Midjourney and other image dissolution, I think that's what they call it, but to generate AI images. They found a way to essentially openly steal from everyone's artwork because they had to test their AI on it and run, to make sure it could do it too. They were allowed to openly steal everyone's artwork to generate you artwork. They didn't have to pay any artists. They don't have to pay some type of fee for the country.
Which don't even get me started on this concept, because honestly, that one really pisses me off, that they just stole from really talented people who put a lot of time and effort into their fucking artwork, just so that little rich piece of shit could steal it with his AI and go, you can't do nothing about it because you had to learn.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude. I'm so fucking tired of these losers.
But, More Perfect Union, they're a fantastic channel.
Oh, they're excellent.
They go through and they'll show you guys the facts. They'll show you guys the timelines. They'll talk to people who work for these companies. They actually did a really great video. One, they have the speech about Peter Thiel making those stupid comments. And then they also did a great video talking to an ex-Palantir employee, which I'll post the link down in the description. Great video. Gives you a lot more insight and seeing why even ex-employees are concerned with Palantir.
Oh, a lot of them that quit don't like that place at all. They think Thiel's a freaking weirdo.
So Yeah, no, and I think what this shows us is things like guys like Peter Thiel are far too integrated, and
Yes.
they need to be investigated.
Yes.
We can't just have our government and our military working with guys like this, because they're
No.
the same people who are going to help dictate who gets sent where, who's going to be on an AI kill list, how could you want anyone like that controlling any aspect or involved in any aspect of controlling anyone's life?
Hey, folks, do you remember when Boeing used to be really good? Like, used to have top of the line quality control, all that. And then they merged with McDonnell and Douglas, and McDonnell and Douglas's corporate took over.
Yep.
And then Boeing went to shit.
Yep.
And they've been having nothing but issues since.
Oh, I heard they had hired an shitification expert. So
now, in case you're wondering, that's basically what went on with our government.
That's a good video too, if you want to look up shitification. It's a Norwegian video, I believe, making fun of all the people who do the same thing. They take over companies and turn them into crap. Anyway, so things like this though should make you wonder, like, what would guys like Peter Thiel and Epstein be planning together, and why wouldn't that concern you?
Because, oh my God,
you see what both these people are capable of. Here's one thing I brought up to Kyle, and I was kind of talking to some other people about. Look at Palantir, right? Palantir, if you want an example of what Palantir can do, go check out Worldview. This awesome ex Google Maps employee decided
on a weekend
he was going to make one of the most awesome open source tools I've ever seen, and this thing rivals Palantir
just to see how the Iran war went down. Yes, and he'll show you in that video. I'm going to link that one in the description. Highly recommend you guys check that out.
Please check that out. It's such a good video.
Just for the idea of what someone like that could do, but imagine what somebody with billions of dollars in corporate backing can do. So it's a perfect example of that.
So yeah, if you think about, if you go look at Worldview and you see what it's capable of and what the insight that provides you, for those of you who don't know or haven't looked, I'll kind of give you an idea. It can show you like where Wi-Fi has been blacked out. It can show you all the different area planes are traveling when they
ships
live. Like you'll see them flying live, ships traveling through like the Hormuz Strait and all that.
Well, that was just for that location because he was looking into it for that video.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it goes all over the world. But when I saw that, my first thought was like, so what you're telling me is that if they have Palantir, who's going to be hooked into like our military equipment, police, all those vehicles, right? Then technically with Palantir, Epstein would have a whole view to know where every security person is, every cop, every military member.
Not just that.
Ship,
if his business was still running,
right,
he could do it undetected without anybody knowing.
And that's what I'm saying. He would know where to move, when to move, and somehow seemingly be a ghost.
If Palantir, owned by Peter Thiel,
he could redirect shit too.
Oh, you're offline.
Right.
No one can see you.
Yep.
If you don't think that can happen, I wish I had that type of blissful ignorance.
And you guys have to understand that Palantir has faced intense scrutiny and controversy over its data mining, AI, intelligence gathering tools. The critics often labeling the company a surveillance machine, known for its work with intelligence agencies and its role in predictive policing and border enforcement. The company has been involved in several high-profile continuous and sometimes secretive dealings, particularly regarding its work with U.S. immigration authorities and military technology. I mean, there you go. You guys don't want to feel like you're in everyone makes jokes about China, right? Because they have cameras everywhere. So Palantir is going to be worse. You guys have most of you guys probably don't realize that they can find you in your home just by pinging your Wi-Fi.
Great video on that.
Did you know that? Right. So you have to understand that a lot of these guys, they're going to smile on your face and tell you how great this is, how it's going to change your life.
How it's going to help you. It's not helping you.
They're really just planning how to bend you over.
Bend you over, spread your cheeks, and clap them.
You gotta understand that, like, again, Peter Thiel is a guy who says shit like democracy is a failed experiment.
Yeah.
And essentially, so is the poor and women's right to vote. So there you go. I just want you to think about that. Anyone under, like, let's say, I mean, I could really raise the number, but I'll say anyone under 80K, your opinion doesn't fucking matter to him. So if you think, oh wow, I'm going to vote and support this guy, he does not care about you.
I would actually say anybody under 250K probably doesn't matter to him.
I just said 80K because most people in this country aren't making that.
But in this country, even now, you basically have to make six figures or you're basically garbage. You can't survive here.
And guess what? We even thought about making Peter Thiel the ambassador to Germany for the U.S.
What a great idea that would be.
So if I want you guys to go Google conflict of interest, and I just want you to tell me in the comments below, if you could, looking at the administration, do you think there's any conflict of interest? Again, facts speak for themselves. Please try to leave your feelings at the door. I'm being honest. Because that's what we need to get to, right? The reality. We can't have, yeah, that's basically the situation, but I'll biasly kind of blow past it because it doesn't fit my own.
Hey, you remember when y'all called like everybody else snowflakes, but now y'all whine whenever you get slapped in the face with facts? Facts don't care about your feelings.
That's right. Sorry. And so
we should discuss one little more turd sandwich.
There is one more little turd to get to. We told you guys we'd talk about him, and that's Bryce Gordon.
Piece of shit.
Bryce Gordon and Karen Gordon were a New Zealand couple that helped manage Zorro Ranch.
Fucking, of course her name's fucking Karen. Why wouldn't it be?
Right.
Jesus Christ. Of course, her name would be fucking Karen, and she's a massive piece of shit like her husband. What a shocker.
He Bryce Gordon, the ranch's former manager, he told the FBI that Epstein did fly and guests and masseuses to the ranch, and he also hired a local massage therapist to work there, which sure didn't raise any red flags. I'm sure he knew nothing about it.
Local massage therapist. How many you got there?
Oh, shoot. Wouldn't you know that?
Here's this email.
He was also listed to get $2 million days before his death. For Epstein's death.
Yeah, that's right. He got a nice cash settlement of $2 million from Jeffrey Epstein. Oh, and I think the Zorro Ranch, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think he also did get handed over Zorro Ranch. Or I think he was a part of the trust
that has control of it.
Like Jess Staley and
yeah.
And then one of the weirdest emails I found. No, don't get me wrong, everyone does fat finger stuff.
But this is kind of really strange for fat fingers.
Yeah, and I'll have it linked in the description. It says, Bryce Gordon, the miners are only valued at $1,300. What happens if they arrive on Wednesday afternoon or on Thursday at some point? Can they still sail on Friday? Now, when you go find another email, it does say mirrors instead of miners.
Yeah, but why are you going to go sail some mirrors?
That was kind of the weird thing to me. Like,
I mean, I don't mean to be that guy to look for something like that, but that's so blatant. Like, can they still be ready to sail Friday?
Yep.
Mirrors aren't going sailing, asswipe.
Yep. And mind you, this was the same guy who is managing that ranch when supposedly the two girls died from strangulation, rough fetish sex and strangulation.
You know, from when those are sent, that would have been when autocorrect was around.
That's true.
Wouldn't it be strange if you did type mirrors and it corrected it as minors?
That's fair.
Then what are you really talking about there? How often do you use the word minors in your emails? Bryce?
My other thought was like, well, how do we know mirrors wouldn't just be another code word anyway? I mean, at this point, we've seen cheese, jerky, pizza.
Again, it doesn't make sense because you're not going to take mirrors sailing.
Right. And now it finally...
I'm sorry.
Finally, you guys have to think, like, this investigation, this ranch is finally coming around. They're finally actually going to...
Trump shut it down in 2019. I wonder why.
You can Google that. Again, like we're trying to be honest with you guys. I know a lot of this shit's going to sound harsh. I know a lot of you guys might watch some of this and be like, fuck you. But we're trying to be honest with you guys, and we're trying to give you all the facts that we can, and we're trying to at least give you any insight that might show you that this shit is not what it seems. And a lot of us knew that, right? I think the hard part a lot of people have our understanding in this situation is that the guy they all trusted to expose the deep state is a big fucking part of the deep state.
He promised that he's going to go after the deep state. He's going to handle all this. And then you find out he's just the deep state.
Right.
He is the deep state, him and his buddies. And I'm sorry, y'all bought it hook. He's going to drain the swamp. What did he do? He moved the swamp into Washington.
He's going to release the Epstein files.
Going to release the Epstein file. Are you still talking about that guy?
Did you guys get your Doge checks yet?
Yeah. Where's your tariff refund check? Oh, wait, you're never going to get that. They're going to give that to their business buddies.
Did you guys get your taxes removed on overtime yet?
You didn't. You can say you did. You didn't.
You can say you did, but you have to work like, I don't know, like over 80 hours. So
Yep.
no, you didn't. So that's the thing I want you guys to look at. Like, again, we're not trying to be total douchebags. I mean, I'm sure we might come across as sometimes.
No, but it's also why we don't put up graphics either. We want you to go to the links in the description. We want you to read them yourselves, form your own opinions. I'm very much of the mindset, like, if I'm just showing you things and just showing it and shoving it in your face, I feel like I'm doing the same shit everybody else is and trying to form this narrative when I'm not. I want you to go form your own opinion.
Well, I'm not going to say we're not going to show graphics. I might put some up
I
there.
meant like ham sandwich. We don't go
But
ham like a
yeah.
lot of these other guys do, where they, we'll pop them things every time we talk about something.
The main things I want to do for you guys is I want it not only to be able to occasionally show you graphic, because I do want you to understand we're not just pulling stuff out of our butt.
No.
But I do want you guys to go look at them. That's the reason I post all the links that I can find, everything I reference. If you see me scrolling, I'm actually going through the script Kyle and I write before each episode. We were going to originally kind of wing this one.
This one was going to be more of a rant episode, to be honest.
But we did also, again, want to make sure we were bringing you guys plenty of facts.
Yeah, I don't want to I'm with Josh. I don't want to just spam a bunch of BS opinionated garbage. I'd rather have it backed up by facts that are out there that you can look up yourself and it's not bullshit.
If I tell you, JD Vance, I think, was essentially groomed by Peter Thiel, I want you to go look that up. I want you to understand why I think that way. But I also, more importantly, the most important thing Kyle and I want from you guys is to really look at your own views and opinions. Look at the way you viewed the world. Look at the way the stories have been spun to you and ask yourself, who's creating the narrative? Why are they putting the spin on it that they are? If we tell you, if someone news outlet tells you a country is bad, why are they saying it bad? Do we have any interest in being there? Are we trying to get any resources? Does that news outlet have family members who works for an oil company that's helping spin that narrative? Do you see what I'm saying?
These are all things you got to take into consideration, because the game has been rigged from the start.
Yep.
That's it. Capitalism has been rigged from the start to make sure it only benefits the few.
You guys have to understand, if you don't like the Illuminati, the idea of that, you despise the idea of things like Skull and Bones. These people are doing it all the time now, just without names on the group, right? They're all having their fancy meetings. They're all going behind doors to talk about how they should be able to change your life, even though you wouldn't appreciate it, even though you'll never vote for it, how they should be able to shit all over your rights and do it anyway.
But that's fine, because they'll pass it in Congress with their paid off congressmen and House of Representative members.
And if those people are going to keep representing the rich and wealthy and some asshole who wants to control our lives, maybe we just need to vote them all out.
And if voting doesn't work, you know what we have to do then next?
So here you go. We got two Democrats telling you.
I'm not a Democrat.
Well, we used to be.
I'm a leftist.
So. But the whole point being is that we'll happily vote our people out, right? Because that's how we're going to clean this shit up. We have to get everyone. Think about it. Everyone at this point could be connected. Everybody. A bunch of them. This whole cover up has shown you that how many people refuse to move to open things up and actually investigate this.
Folks, I will be the first to tell you, I think Hakeem Jeffries, Cory Booker, and Chuck Schumer are the biggest fucking tools that the left has ever put in office. Those three fuckwads should have never made it in there. Ever.
You know what a lot of them like to do? They like to hoorah. They like to go off for a moment. Someone goes, man, look at them out there fighting for me. But then they turn around behind those closed doors and they go, hey, man, don't worry. I'm going to sign that with you.
Also, AOC, way to let Bernie down by taking money from Israel, you bitch.
I got to say, that's
a disappointment.
Really disappointing. You guys want to sit here and talk about your grassroots movements. You want to talk about how you're trying to do shit for the better of the people. Why don't you start by not taking the money from the fucking terrorists?
I don't know, practice what you preach. You're a bunch of hypocrites, honestly. Bernie Sanders was the only one who actually had a spine.
Yep.
Homegrown, baby.
And guess what? He kept his spine while a bunch of younger assholes kept beating on him and trying to beat him into the ground. And he still stood up for everyone.
He's still fighting to this day, folks.
Still.
If there's one dude we need to show love to, it's that man. He's been fighting for yours and ours future.
Even while people fucking hate him for it.
Because he got rich off a book he wrote about how he became who he is.
And that's another thing. Again, I just want to end on this. Stop the faux virtuing signaling. Stop it. Stop telling me you don't like this, but you ignore that. You don't like this, but you ignore that. No one cares anymore. And you don't get any fucking ground to stand on.
You don't have any ground to stand on.
Don't come in the comments with that bullshit.
Take a hike.
Because if you're going to sit here and talk about how bad SNAP affects the country, but fucking tax breaks to the rich are nothing, you're the moron.
You're so uneducated at that point that your opinion holds zero value, buddy. Zero.
Because you're just being ignorant.
And I'm going to be real with you. I don't think people like you should share our oxygen. I'm sorry. If you think it's cute and adorable, it's not. It's not. You're not.
It's old.
It's old.
Tiresome. It holds the whole country back.
The fact that we have half of your party proud to be stupid, to be a fucking bunch of morons, tells me everything I need to know, and I don't need to hear anything about it.
So what I'd like to see some more of you guys do is maybe actually stand on business. I have seen MAGA members turn around and say, you know what?
This is fucked up.
We're the breaking point. This whole thing's fucked up. I'm not supporting this asshole. And good on you people.
Yes.
Good on you. I support you people. I've never been more proud of you people.
I won't even say I'm proud. I'm just happy you're finally starting to see what we see.
Well, I'm proud of you for putting your foot down and saying, you know what? I might believe in somebody too, but I have morals and I have ethics, and those go first.
And don't mistake this as like a full-out attack on people, because it's not. It's just very much, we're in a very delicate situation now in our society where apparently some people are okay with absolute atrocities while the rest of us are appalled by them. And the fact that something so morally grounded like that is not a breaking point for some people. Right. You know, our human rights that they want to take away, you're okay with it. I am not okay with you people that are okay with that.
And on this, things like this, we all have to come together.
Yes.
We all have to keep it. We all have to keep pushing it back in the light. We all have to keep making an issue. We all have to want people to be prosecuted. We should not have something like this come out and nobody's being prosecuted. Cash lied, Pam lied, Tulsi Gabbard lied. No one's being prosecuted.
Yeah, they all lied under oath.
And Les Wexner.
And I don't know how to say this, but if lying under oath is just okay and there's no consequences for it, then we really have no laws in this country, and I don't know what we're doing anymore.
At that point, it's literally just laws for the poor and no one else.
Because as far as I'm concerned, Congress is kind of worthless right now. So is the House. They don't do anything to benefit the people. I don't know how many Republicans come out and still blame Biden for the gas prices. Dude, it's been over a year. Right. It's 2026. Y'all have done nothing but fuck up the economy and blame everybody else for it. It's done.
So maybe in the future, what we need to do is that when we start seeing these bullshit candidates come out that aren't going to do anything for us,
toss them.
Let's just all say we're not voting these people in. Go get new fucking electorates, because these guys aren't good enough. And that's what we should always do. We should put our foot down and say, we won't settle for less. I'm not going to settle for the lesser of two evils.
Never settle for the lesser of two evils. That's like getting excited about voting for the biggest piece of shit.
Don't you think it's weird that conveniently a giant group who does a bunch of evil crap is telling you, oh, you got to pick the lesser of two evils?
No.
Why isn't the lesser of two betters? Why won't it be the lesser of the best?
I mean, don't any of you find it weird? We're always given scraps and shit, and we're just told to be grateful, and you're just like, yeah, that's cool, man.
Here, I would, on an end thing, speaking of just getting scraps and shit, you guys want some fun facts? Why don't you go look at what wages used to be compared to CEOs in the 1940s and 50s and how it went up until now? There you go. I think you'll get some answers there, too.
We might seem a little harsher this episode because it's really needs to start getting hammered home, guys. Like,
we're not trying
we need change in this country. We are at a precipice where we're standing the edge of the sword.
Right.
And we're either going to fall into oblivion,
which is fascism,
or we're going to finally break it all down and rebuild,
which could bring us the future we all have always wanted.
Let's just be real. This system never worked.
It hasn't. We've all known it's been broken the whole time.
We all talk about it in secret at the water cooler. We all talk about it out amongst breaks at the workshops or whatever.
But let's be real. YouTube, Netflix, the games, it's all just coping mechanisms because we know there's a giant problem that we haven't fixed. I don't think a lot of us even know where to start.
Oh,
I think
we do. We know where to start.
We know one way we can start. But, there are a lot of things we can do that doesn't resort this country having to basically crumble and fall into a revolution to restart it.
No.
Be active. Go out and protest. If things get so bad that we have to march on the Capitol, then we march on the Capitol.
I mean, I don't mean to be
we
that
protest.
guy. You got right-wingers who refuse to show up to their town halls to hear their constituents out because they're embarrassed about what's about to go down.
And they know how bad they've been, and they know that they haven't taken care of their constituents, and they know plenty of them aren't dumb enough to sit there and fall for their crap.
As someone who lives in Missouri, I will just say it. Our governor has been utter shit, Republican.
Yep.
Josh Hawley's a fucking embarrassment who doesn't live here.
Yep.
Another embarrassment. That Eric asshole who looks and sounds like a pedo.
Yep.
Bro, you are human garbage.
Yep.
The shit I hear you spew to your constituents and when you're on the floor, no.
So,
bro, no. You should be taken out back, thrown into a dumpster, and pushed down a hill.
So let's talk about some upcoming things we're going to be mentioning and videos down the line. We're going to be talking about the workplace and how it's changed. We're going to be talking about your fake ass choices that you get, why you can get 30 different kinds of TP. But like Kyle basically said, you get these crap candidates who are then only going to give you basically one company for electricity. You know what I mean? You guys have to understand how this all plays together. We're going to get you more. We want to help get people more informed. We want to help people understand how the economy works, who is affecting it,
who it really benefits,
and who it really benefits.
If you still think the stock market's a representation of our economy,
wrong.
The stock market only represents the values of shares for rich folk.
You know who's going to tell you things like that? The same rich people who tell you that if you raise the taxes, they're all going to run away to other countries. And guess what? They don't.
They never leave.
Silicon Valley raised taxes too. Guess what? They kept coming in. These people are going to lie through their teeth to get what they want. And they don't care how much they have to do, what terrible shit they have to do, how bad they have to take advantage of you. Because it's a fucking game to them. A game to take as much as they can.
It's like the most poorly organized game of checkers.
Yep.
It's not even chess. It's just checkers. Chess actually requires thinking and hard work and intelligence. And since none of these people have that, it's obviously checkers. That's just you jump color.
Well, basically, you're all getting huck finned. Like, that's what we're all doing. We're all getting huck finned.
Oh, for sure.
They're telling us how great it's going to be to get this job and do this. And man, we're going to make this money and shit's going to be fantastic. And then he's going to keep it all and do nothing.
Hey, CEO,
You done yet?
that's a nice Lamborghini you got there. I know, Demi, but if you work hard this year, I'll get me another one.
Next year, yep.
Go ahead, glaze that knob, you douches.
So that's it for episode 4. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Again, hopefully we weren't too harsh and turned people away. But again, we do want to be real with you guys, and people have to understand this whole thing is frustrating,
folks. My emotions on this are not fake. No. They are very much genuine. It really burns my ass,
and it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see all the problems in the world, hear people complain about them, and watch people essentially want to do zero to fix them.
I think one of the worst parts too is you look at the food system right now. They will literally throw out fresh food to keep prices high.
We'll get into that too. That's another thing we'll have to add.
Like anyone who thinks this country is a great country, dude, it is a toilet bowl that is just still flushing, baby.
I will tell you that this country could be
great.
One of the most, if not the most incredible country you could imagine.
But it absolutely is not right now.
But greed, narcissism, and giant egos are holding it back. So, just want to thank everyone for joining us for episode 4, War
Never Changes.
If you liked the video,
like and subscribe, fam, peeps.
We'd appreciate it.
I mean, if not, you can dislike it too. Write us nasty comments because we're going to read it and make fun of it later anyway.
And we get it. We're small. So, if you don't want to subscribe to us right away, or maybe you only see a little bit of content, you're like, it's not.
Want to wait and see what happens. We understand.
Yeah, we get it.
But just remember that one time we get big, we're going to remember the early guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. We're going to remember all those people that we can't see who didn't like our video. Wait. Anyway, but yeah, no, seriously, if you guys appreciate it, please like, subscribe. I don't have to be the guy to say that at the end of any video, but
it's the new algorithm thing for YouTube. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, and people aren't wrong. I mean, it does help. Even if we don't make it through the video, at least smashing a like or subscribing. If you did like the video, at least subscribe, you'll get more content. And then at least the likes, again, will help the video. So,
and again, we do plan to cover a lot of other topics. Just right now, because of everything going on, I don't want to let this Epstein thing die.
Nope.
I I think we're at a point we might be able to make a real difference on this, and I would like to push that as hard as we can to try to do that. And I think anyone who has any sense of morality should feel the same way.
Yeah, I agree. I think, like Kyle said, I mean, we really, and we've said before, we need to come together on this one. This is something we all need to tackle.
These people need to be held accountable.
Yep. Otherwise, it's only going to get worse.
Otherwise, crime just don't pay here in the States.
Right. And it needs to.
Or sorry, crime does pay.
Yeah.
I had that backward. Crimes does pay in the States.
But all right. Well, thanks everyone. We hope to see you next time, and look forward to everyone checking out the video. Like I said, hopefully like, subscribe.
Keep it sleazy.
And that. Later, nerds.